Welcome, I'm Morgan Wright, Vice President for End-to-End Global Public Safety LTE Solutions for Alcatel-Lucent, and we want to welcome you today to our virtual trade show. The reason we're doing this is because Alcatel-Lucent provides an evolutionary mobile broadband technology that will change how public safety communicates, collaborates, and operates. We're pleased to be here today at the APCO 77th International Show, and along with me is my Senior Director for Public Safety, Wayne Evelyn. So what I did is Wayne and I go back, we're both former law enforcement, we both love this stuff, but we wanted to change the game up a little bit. So I gave Wayne a challenge. I said, build me something, bring something together that's a game changer. And out of that was born Striker One. So Wayne, tell me about Striker One. Why did we come up with this, and why does it look the way it does?
So Striker One is a demonstration of the art of the possible. By creating a platform in a mobile environment that we can take into a trade show, we have the capability of showing the power of LTE and how LTE changes things for our public safety customers. Using band 14 LTE and devices, a whole slew of devices actually, that are carried within the truck, we can roll into a customer site, we can roll up onto the show floor, and we can open up the doors and show the power. We're going to show you later on today, as we talk through this, all the different devices that we have capable with Striker One, and how they interoperate, how they work together, and how they bring a whole new way of doing business for our public safety customers, Morgan.
And I think somebody got a little carried away, didn't they? We almost have an attack vehicle, right? What are we going to show here?
Okay, so the art of the possible includes a UAV. A UAV equipped with a high-definition camera that can actually fly around. Now, we're not flying this today just because of some dangerous considerations. We don't really want to make it an attack helicopter, but certainly a UAV with a high-definition camera can help you penetrate areas that you may not be able to get to otherwise. So just one of the many tools that we're using within the Striker One combination, Morgan, to keep everything working very well together.
Yeah, so I think what you're going to see here today is Alcatel-Lucent has taken this to a whole new level. We want to change the game because we want to change the outcome. And really what we're here for, again, LTE changes everything. We want to change how public safety communicates, collaborates, and operates. And I think that's what you're going to see here today. So what we're going to do is introduce you to a lot of the key members of our team. We're going to walk you through demonstrations. And then what we'll do is we'll come back and close up this trade show with you with some final thoughts. Hi, so now that Wayne and I have kind of introduced the Striker to you, who I brought is the mad leader of Wolfpack Delta. It's our demo team, Glenn Stites, and big Corvette fan too, might I add, right?
Yes.
Brand new Corvette?
Yes, on its way.
On its way. So, well, the only thing that goes faster than your Corvette is LTE, right?
This is true.
So tell us a little bit about what we have in here from an LTE standpoint and how the Striker is built.
Yep. Basically what we have in the vehicle, it's a fully self-contained Band 14 public safety LTE 4G system. In addition to that, we have all kinds of servers and various applications that we can go out and deploy very quickly. We can take the vehicle out and basically plug it in, bring the base station up, and we're on the air and ready to go.
Yeah, so the nice thing about this is that we've taken things that normally you deploy across, big areas, like with our commercial customers, but we've been able to condense this down. And what this really means to public safety is that if they roll this communications package out somewhere, they could, in a very short time, have a complete communications package with LTE, right?
That's correct.
Right, so tell us a little bit too about the way we built this. We've actually taken kind of some cutting edge technology with the 4G LTE technology, but we've also integrated some things in there like radios, right? And in fact, one of our partners, Raytheon, we've got something unique here too, because I think we're one of the first to integrate their ACU 5000.
Right, and what the ACU 5000 allows you to do is to interoperate with P25 and LTE or conventional radio type systems that are in the field today and be able to interop seamlessly with LTE when we go out to the field.
And I think once we get through, we're going to show some video demos with Fred and Mike, but then when we come to you, what we're actually going to show, which I think is pretty cool, right? We're going to show, again, using an iPad or an off-the-shelf technology, and we're going to be able to bridge that and have a radio communication with a handheld radio, right, using the ACU 5000, is that right?
Along with out to an iPad.
That's a beautiful thing, right?
Yes, it is.
All right, so hey, stay tuned. We're going to come back to you with that demo. So I think one of the neat things here is what we're doing is showing how you can use commercial off-the-shelf technology but address mission-critical problems, right? So one of the things we've done is show how we can pull up multiple video surveillance streams, right? Using something like an iPad and Apple TV, we can actually broadcast this video, right? What's an example?
Of course, so a good example of this, we've been watching the videos on the screen. Our drone is actually simulating a response. We need to respond to an incident. The patrol car will begin responding, and we can watch everything that the patrol car is doing, as well as we are feeding the drone video over to the patrol car. So if it's a two-man unit as they're responding, one officer is able to watch what they're responding to being live, fed down from the helicopter to the patrol car, and we're seeing what's going on in the patrol car at the same time.
And Fred, the other nice thing about this, right, you can pick and choose the video you want to see and push that particular video out, can't you?
That's correct. We're going to turn around to this other screen to my right, and I'm going to bring up and show you how that now maybe we've gotten to the scene or we've put somebody in the back seat that might need to be shown to a victim of what occurred. What happens today is if we apprehend somebody, we either have to drive the victim to the car or the car to the victim, which means we might be securing somebody in the patrol car that might not even be the person we had wanted. So we wind up with liability there. We're able to end that. With the control of an iPad, any sort of a tablet, we're demonstrating on an iPad today, we can push video by me tapping that, and you'll see we have the patrol car's back seat come up. Now, normally what would happen if they apprehended somebody, we had to bring the car to the victim or the victim to the car. What's happening here now is we can show this and say, do you know the person that's in this back seat? Have you seen him? Is this the victim?
And Fred, the other thing you can do too is that they may not know him, but maybe another detective or another officer in another jurisdiction says, do you know this guy? We could actually share this video with other jurisdictions anywhere in the country.
That's correct. So we can push this video any place we may need to push it. It doesn't have to be just on this screen, but it could be a patrol officer whose vehicle is at the scene of the other incident. We can push it to his tablet, his computer. We can push it back, say if it's a person we needed to see in the detective bureau. They said, who do you really have out there? We think you might have a picture of them. We could send this instantly, real time, live, push the video right back into the detective bureau.
And I know we talked a lot about public safety law enforcement, but also there's a lot of applications for fire as well. We could show video from a scene of a fire. We could do command and control and incident command with this. They could share information between different people who are working a scene together, right? I mean, the possibilities with video are basically endless.
Basically endless, because we can then also use the camera on here if we wanted to. If we were near the scene, we could use this camera to send video in.
And we could do video conferencing together, and it used to be what you see is what you get, but now it's what I see is what you see, right?
That's correct. So what I'm seeing, he's seeing, I'm seeing. Whether you're going into a scene, whether you're going in an emergency, the officer could take this with him any place. Could take into a home and send a picture live of somebody they want to show.
And what we're showing here too is that we're just using mirroring that's coming out with Apple, right? But what you see here, this screen could be anywhere. It could be in an EOC, it could be in a public safety vehicle, it could be in a command center, right?
Sure, and I'm just showing you here today, as I move this around.
There's our film crew, sorry guys.
There's our film crew, but as we're looking out further in the convention center here, this could be a live scene now that we're streaming any place over LTE.
And if we turn it sideways, watch what happens. Now it goes full screen, and now we've got a lot more video to show.
100%.
So what becomes knowledge of one now becomes knowledge of all.
That's correct.
We can share it. Great job, Fred. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mike's been one of the valuable members of our team from our enterprise side with applications. One of the neat things, Mike, you've done, and of course, you know, we're both Apple guys too, we're Mac guys, right? You've looked at Mac, you've looked at Apple, you've looked at Bonjour, you've looked at all these words, right? But we've been able to start doing things that actually mean something to public safety. So what I'd like you to do is give us an example of some of the things that you've worked on with the iPad, with audio, conferencing, and bridging in voice from radios and cell phones, all onto this nifty little iPad, of which, of course, I own a few. Great. So, Mike, what are we doing?
What you see is a small demo we put together with 2 iPads. Here we're showing mobile video collaboration. We have peer-to-peer video. My camera is showing on this first responder's iPad, and this first responder's iPad is showing on my iPad, and we're simultaneously in a voice conversation. So we can be talking across the world to somebody else on a PSTN phone or on a radio. The way this is being done is using some Alcatel-Lucent products, my Teamwork and Alcatel-Lucent Messenger, that are behind the scenes doing the bridging, and we're taking advantage of the LTE network and the iPad camera technology and the iPads and doing all the bridging back here in the Stryker.
And one of the things we found, Mark, and really what this means to public safety is, they've had a challenge getting video over these slower speed networks, right? So what we've done is by removing that challenge, not only can they do video, but now we can bring in video audio, and if we can do video, right, we can do data. We can do application sharing, map sharing, things like that, right?
Yes, it's the mobile collaboration between mobile first responders and people that are in a base station or a van like this that's important.
And so let's walk us through. What have you got for us today? What did you cook up in your lab?
Well, this is what you're seeing right now is whatever I'm showing on my iPad is showing on your iPad. And so if I show the cameras and show the rest of the scene, you can see that on.
Well, that's pretty fast too. You got me dizzy. So let me do this. So you show your iPad, and we can see all the people coming through here. And it's just, and the nice thing about this is that because we're connecting to the LTE network, the quality is good, the speed is good, the audio is good,
That's
isn't it?
right, yeah, perfect. And actually we're bridging audio into this call as well, testing 1, 2, 3, and you'll hear that coming out of the iPads. You have to make it a little louder. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, hello, we're testing.
So now, and we've done the same thing with the radio too, haven't we? Ah, feedback. Well, everybody likes feedback except on the audio device,
Yes, because
right?
the Alcatel-Lucent product is SIP compatible. Any sort of SIP-aware device, a PSTN SIP gateway, or one of the many different kinds of SIP to radio adapters that are out there, we can bridge all those things in.
Really what this means is any voice to any voice, any face to any face,
Any
right?
face to any face, any voice to any voice.
This is a beautiful thing. I mean, and this is actually, the nice thing about this though too is this is real. This is something people can buy today, they can add to their LTE network, and it's instantly usable, right?
That's right.
Alcatel-Lucent, bringing you innovation at the speed of ideas. All right, so now, Glenn, what we've talked about is we've seen now through the demonstrations, we've seen video plus some audio. You know, we've shown how we can share cameras, but the neat thing about this is what we've done is we've taken an application off the iPad now, right? We've tied it into the ACU 5000, and now we have a radio, and this could be any kind of radio, right? P25, conventional UHF. So what we're going to do is now establish a voice communication between an iPad and a radio, and it's as simple as what, 4-digit dialing?
Correct, and it's all over LTE.
It's all over LTE. So dial me in, Scotty. All right, so here's what we're going to do. He's going to hold the speaker up, and I'm going to talk. So let me give you a discount here real quick. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is a test of the emergency broadcasting system.
And I can talk back to you, testing, I hear you just fine.
Now obviously there's a little bit of feedback because we're close and that always happens, but the point is, we've shown over a combination of Wi-Fi, LTE, and radio, we've been able to bridge all of these things together,
technologies together, correct.
And the nice thing about this is that because it's an iPad, I noticed that when you dialed, we had the option between a video or an audio call, so we could have also done an audio call. We could actually bridge this in while we're having a video session with something else, right?
That's correct.
And there's inside the command vehicle, right?
Right, this is a two-way video and audio call to another video endpoint inside the Stryker vehicle.
So we could actually be collaborating. I mean, I could have dialed this from anywhere on my network. I don't have to be within the network has no concept of distance. I could have actually tied into this from anywhere, right?
Correct.
Does it wax the car? Will this wax your Corvette?
I wish it did.
Again, Alcatel-Lucent, we're bringing these things together. LTE changes everything. We've actually shown now how we can change the way public safety will communicate, collaborate, and definitely this changes the way public safety operates. All right, so next in our demonstration, we have another one of our mad scientists. Actually, we named a segment after it called Mr. Otto's Neighborhood, but it's Ken Otto. So actually, Ken, you've actually taken some really neat stuff. We've just taken something that just came out of Brookstone Ride or something,
That's right.
And we've added a high-def camera to it, right?
That's right.
So tell us what you did.
So this is a standard Parrot AR drone. We've added a high-def camera on the front from Hero, and we've got a transmitter on the back to take that video and send it across the air to our access car across the way.
And actually what we've got is we've got a camera there, so we have a high def, and now we're able to pull that right into our video surveillance system. At the same time, I can also broadcast that over the iPad. So now the nice thing with Apple, all I have to do is to enable sharing is go in here and you can see we're already sharing this, so I'm going to share it up to our screen. There we go. And then bring up the video surveillance camera, the drone. There we go. So in about 2 clicks and 5 seconds, I can now share video from an aerial platform down to an iPad, share it with the screen. Hey, is that wicked cool? Would you categorize that as wicked cool?
It's wicked cool for me.
So will this be the next segment on Mr. Otto's Neighborhood?
I think so.
So what does this mean actually to law enforcement? It means I can actually now take video. I could send it into an area where it may not be safe for somebody to go, or an area they can't reach.
That's right.
And I could transmit video back to the decision makers, right? First responders, people, and actually the access vehicle here, I could actually send it directly to an officer.
That's right. You could also send it back to headquarters, back to the fire chief, back to the police chief.
Anybody who needs to see, and it's secure, right? Because this is an LTE network, we can do encryption end to end, so nobody can intercept it. And we're just not flying it in here today, but before we've actually controlled it, right, with an application that runs on the iPhone, right?
That's right. That's right. There's just so much Wi-Fi interference here today. We can't fly it safely in here without hurting anybody.
But the nice thing about the iPad or the iPhone application is you actually see as you're controlling it. If this were my iPhone, I could actually see the video I'm seeing, and I could control it with the accelerometer, tilt and move, and that would make that fly, right?
Yeah, the base platform has a built-in cameras on the front and on the bottom.
Again, I mean, this is who wouldn't want this after you've shown this, right? And actually gets a lot of attention. You actually, I remember, attacked me with this in San Diego, didn't you?
Well, there are scars left, but I think they're healing now.
But no more missiles. We can't put missiles on this, right?
No missiles.
Okay, a little too heavy. So again, just another use of LTE technology about how we can take video at the tip of the spear and send it to the decision makers and change the way, right? We're changing, again, communication, collaboration, and operation. Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, you're still hired then. So what we have now is one of our other partners, Access Communications, and the nice thing I like about this, Ryan, is that what we've been able to do is take what would be a police car, right?
Yep.
And we've equipped it with some of your technology. So give us an idea of what's in this car right now, then we'll talk about how we're communicating back to the Striker One.
Okay, so what we're trying to do here is showcase some of the Access Communications platform of network video cameras for mobility applications. So installed in the car right now, as you move around, we'll be able to see the different cameras, but we have 5 HD-enabled network cameras that are installed throughout the car. Push bumper, driver, passenger, rear ceiling, trunk mount cameras here as well. So you get a full 360-degree view of what's coming on at the car. Everything is coming back to this device here, which is our NVR. This is doing all the recording of the video locally so that you can store video locally, have high-quality video local.
How many hours can I get on that?
This device, you can have up to 2 terabytes of storage in it.
2 terabytes.
So for 5 cameras, you're well over 30 days of storage, depending on the compression and the resolution.
5 cameras, high def, 30 frames per second.
Absolutely.
I could store that on here, 2 terabytes of storage.
Absolutely. So that's basically the brains of the operation here. And then the nice thing is, partnering with Alcatel-Lucent, yourself, using your LTE technology, we're able to stream all this video, upload it to a command center, to another patrol car, anywhere that's LTE enabled.
So with an LTE modem in here, what we'd be able to do is, while this car would be in motion, somebody could actually access the camera,
Absolutely.
see the video, or if the officer or whoever this camera might be on a fire truck isn't able to view it and watch it as they're driving, actually somebody could go back in and replay the video looking for key events or things that might have happened, right?
Absolutely. Somebody could be using a client back at the dispatch center to come in to view what's on this. They could see the cameras live as they are in the car, or they could be looking at recorded video that's already been done.
And if I combine this with things like automated vehicle location, where I see where everything is, I could actually pick out the vehicle that's closest to the incident, look at all the cameras, and then pick out the best camera and stream that camera back, right?
Absolutely. It's the beauty of the network, right?
Yeah, and the network has no concept of distance, so we could actually, an officer could be away from this car, but this thing would still be streaming video live back. Absolutely. And do I have the capability to turn on and off cameras or switch between cameras easily if I wanted to?
You do. Using the video management system, you have the ability to see all the cameras that are on the system, and based on that, the operator or the officer can decide what they want to view dynamically.
Yeah, and I think actually this is probably one of the first demonstrations of in-car camera systems over LTE and showing the value of it, right?
Yes, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's another first. So I really like this, and so when a department puts this in, what they get is they get the 5 cameras, they get the storage, and obviously with the Alcatel-Lucent network and the LTE modem, what they've actually done is gone before to where you have to wait till somebody comes back in and uploads the video, to where now if there's something they need, they can access it in real time over the air and see it as just the officer would have seen it, right?
Absolutely. So real time, on demand.
Actually, another great partner, another great innovation from our partner Access Communications, working with Alcatel-Lucent. So we're back here with Terry, former semi-pro all-star basketball player, but now with live view. So, no, just kidding, Terry. I mean, if you were making that kind of money, we wouldn't be having this conversation, right?
And although I did play ball, but not pro.
Oh, okay, well, hey, look. What we have right here is, this isn't just about a camera, right? But the camera really is attached to your technology, right?
Correct, and our technology here is 7 different cell modems plus an LTE on the side to make 8 different ways to connect the backpack to your server in your studio to send video back.
8 different technologies you're combining together, right?
Correct. Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, LTE, and you can get Wi-Fi on here. And if you're at a static location, you can hook it up to a LAN connection as well. It'll combine and bind all that into one.
And so the nice, what Eric's got here in the backpack, this is kind of the screen, but the important thing about this is that, Eric, if you can turn around for a second, we've got the camera. What it is we're broadcasting that picture now up to here, and just for the folks know, I mean, there's a little bit of a delay because we've got it going back to a server over the internet, right?
Correct. Right now we have it connected via the air cards to the internet up there in the towers.
Somewhere in there.
The tower comes back down to a studio server, whether it's a broadcast server or on the internet, a cloud server. Right now it's going to a cloud server, so there's going to be a bit of a delay. We've got it set to 3 different profiles. We have interview mode, in case you need just like a second delay. We have balance, which is about 7 seconds, and then we have max quality, which does about a 15-second delay. And that's what we're set at right now because we're going to a virtual server, so we're trying to get the best picture out of it.
And we're also public, so in case Eric does anything we don't like, we can cut him out,
We
right?
can, yes. We can hit the button real quick.
And bleep Eric out of the picture,
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit about how you might use this for public safety. So a lot of times, the problem is the first person there doesn't have a satellite truck with them, right? But they need video from the scene and they want high quality video, and they may not know what network's there. So what you're telling me is that we could take a technology like this, be the first into a scene, regardless of what the connections is. I could have 3 or 4 different companies there, but I could take all of their different networks, bring them together, aggregate that bandwidth, and now I have something that's faster than any individual single network.
And correct, it's obviously going to be faster than a satellite truck too. In a satellite truck, you have the other inherent issues of being tethered to the ground. So you're obviously tied into one place. A quick synopsis here, G20. G20, we have a couple of broadcast affiliates. I don't know if we can name the names or not, but they were tied to satellite trucks. They couldn't move anywhere, so they had to pick where they're going and their end spot, and they had to stay there. As were a couple other broadcasters had our backpacks on, and they actually went with the protesters and roamed through the streets with them as they marched.
They were able to follow the news, follow the event, and transmit that back.
From start to finish.
So what you're telling me is that we've basically untethered the ability to take high quality video, which would be broadcast quality too, things that citizens were used to see, right? And broadcast that back basically from anywhere.
Correct. As long as you've got a tower that you can get some data reception from, or you have a Ethernet cable, then yes.
And the nice thing about this, you've got multiple partners, but right now we're seeing this over which server and which company?
We're shooting through Ustream right now, so we actually got a cloud server out there that we're shooting to. It's producing an FME stream and pushing it to the Ustream FMS server.
And so what that basically means is if I have an incident, and I mean I could make it secure, right? But I could create, once I log on, it creates a URL, right? Just a web address. I publish that real quick, and anybody who I want to see that can log in and see the same video, right?
Definitely, and you can password protect it, or you can just put it out there for the public.
So if I wanted to, I could password protect it, but I could also bring it up on in fact, you were telling me earlier you had it up on your Droid. We could see it on an iPad, on an iPhone, a playbook. Anything that's browser-based, we could pull it up on, right?
Any device that has internet access, basically, whether it's a watch, a phone, or whatever it may be.
And with all the smartphones out there, there's obviously applications that people can download and use, right?
Correct. Livestream, Ustream, some of our partners, they have applications that you can put on iPads, Droids, all that kind of good stuff.
So what I'd like to do real quick, I mean, the proof's in the pudding, right? People say, oh, can you really do that? But you had a setting here on the back of the screen that showed all the different networks we happen to be connected to right now.
Correct.
Can we see that real quick?
So right here we have your touch screen. If we touch the settings right here, we can actually go to the interface buttons, and in the interface, we can actually see what modems are connected and what the bandwidth is. It'll give us a rating on the side, obviously. You can go into each modem separately. And it'll give you the kilobytes on each side right here, what they're connecting at. And you can scroll down. You can also see the LTE connected here. And it'll basically give you a rating of all of them connected together.
And it's taking all of those and pulling them and aggregating them all together into basically a single connection.
Correct. If you have a problem with a single modem, you can just click on it and hit deactivate, actually. And you would just hit the deactivate button. Say there's too much of a delay on it, you can take it out of rotation if you'd like.
So obviously, we're taking fast networks, combining them with even faster networks to get a really fast network out of this, right?
Correct. It's not just going across a single modem. It's not saying I want this modem because it's fast. It's taking them all, putting them as one pipe, and then sending it back out there.
That's amazing. And obviously a lot of applications in public safety for first in, for incident work, for transmission. Now, will this do voice as well, or right now is it just video?
Oh no, it's doing voice as well. If you were to turn that up, you'd hear us talking right now.
Oh, that may not be a good thing. So we don't want this to get out to the internet, folks. So,
Okay.
But that's the point, voice and video, sharing that instantly to anybody, anywhere.
Audio and video is actually embedded over the SDI cable that we're using. If we had FireWire plugged into any kind of low-grade consumer camera, which you could use as well, it's audio and video embedded in that as well.
Amazing. So, Terry, thanks for being in the booth. You guys see great technology, combining it with what's currently out there along with LTE. I mean, LTE starts changing everything, and it really changes the quality of what you can do with this with LTE, right?
Correct, and once actually all the carriers are doing LTE, this is going to be a really fast box.
What's really fast now is going to be wicked fast, Corvette fast, like Glenn Stites says, that's right?
Correct.
All right, so thanks again, Terry. Appreciate you being in the booth.
Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome back again. Now I've got another one of our super secret special technician, Joe DeMott, but Joe's been responsible for helping integrate this vehicle, Joe. So what I'd like to do is for everybody here, we've got a lot of Alcatel-Lucent technology in here, we've got some partner technology in here. So real quick, walk us through what we have in here right now.
Okay, so we've integrated into this vehicle, we have two 19-inch equipment racks that the operator can control from this side while he's sitting in the vehicle. We have different systems in here. We have 4 PCs that we can run 4 separate applications on. We have a bunch of monitors set up outside the vehicle that are streaming into the vehicle that we can have streaming content into the vehicle that we can send then out over LTE if we need to. Our equipment on this side includes our Omni switch that we're using for backhaul, and we also have our integrated EPC that's built into these
and Joe,
PCs here.
and for a lot of folks, so what's an EPC and really kind of what does it do?
The EPC is our enhanced packet core. That's basically the brains behind LTE. And we're controlling all of the LTE equipment, the LTE cells, the packet gateway, the signaling gateway, everything interfaces through the EPC in order to bring LTE service 4G technology to the world.
And what Glenn showed earlier is the combination of that. This is actually a complete LTE network on wheels, right?
This is absolutely a complete network on wheels. This entire thing is in this one car.
So now we've got a couple rack mount PCs here that you use to control some stuff. So, but actually before we do this though, one of the things I think people can see right now is we've got a couple video phones in here, right?
Absolutely.
So if I call you right now from an iPad, right? So we're using the same application that you saw us do before when we did the radio integration, right? So now I'm going to do a video call. And now as you see on here, a little bit of latency there. There's our camera guy. Whoops. Anyway, but we'll get rid of the latency here. And I'll end the call here. But what we've just shown is that I could have been anywhere with this, right?
Absolutely.
Again, 4-digit dial, automatically come up on this video phone, so you could have not just been having a voice conversation, but a video conversation with somebody on another device somewhere.
Absolutely.
Right? So let's get in on showing what we're doing with a couple of these rack mount PCs here now.
Okay, so what we have in here also that you can't see is we have these monitors and keyboards that are integrated into the rack. This one here is showing one of our applications, which is Genetec. A whole bunch of different streaming applications you've probably seen a little bit before. But we have cameras that are over in the access car coming over here. There are other cameras around the facility.
And these are the cameras that we're also seeing on the big monitors on the screen outside, right?
Right, and again, we have the switcher over here that allows us to switch all of our internal inputs, our internal applications to the outside so people can see what's going on inside the car. Okay, on this side of the rack we have another monitor that we can pull out. Show you here with these other 2 PCs on this side. This is our connection manager that we've brought up our LTE call, and all of the PCs in the vehicle are then linked to LTE through this one connection. We can go to the other connection over here, and now we're using this laptop as our interface into our EPC, our enhanced packet core. And you can see everything's enabled. It brought up all the different processors that are involved with LTE in order to make this call happen. So this is how we monitor the system and bring the system up if we need to make any changes.
But actually there's something neat behind it. So if we can close the lid, we actually have one of our partners that we've integrated. And actually, it's like, I think we're one of the first people to do this, right? So this is the ACU 5000 from Raytheon. So tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. This is the ACU 5000. Raytheon supplied that to us for the show. And what we're doing is we're integrating that with our radios in here and also with the P25 radios that we have around the booth and over at Raytheon's booth. So we're making all of these connections through the ACU 5000 along with the LTE backbone.
So when we connected earlier using the same application, we're talking on it with the radio, this was actually what was helping us connect the radio to the iPad over P25 and over voice over IP over LTE, right?
Absolutely.
So this is a great, brand new, great capability. What it does is it increases our ability, right, to bring in all the different kinds of voice conversations and start tying those together, right?
Absolutely. It interfaces with the radio world into the IP world right here.
That's very good. So what would you say the top speed of this thing is? 110, 120? Just kidding. LTE is faster than this vehicle by far,
LTE
right?
is much faster, yes, believe me.
So no, hey, good job, Joe.
All right,
thanks,
you.
buddy. It's real good stuff inside here, and the best thing about it, this is all powered by Alcatel-Lucent, right?
Absolutely. Alcatel-Lucent backhaul.